It's
and
live.
I hope
My thing says live. Are
Look,
we live?
Here's what I want to ask. I don't want to ask. I just want to talk about this because.
What? Are you going to put me on blast?
Yes, of course I am. We
Why?
have to talk about it.
We were having such a nice time.
Because I kind of wish.
Let's
I'm
just
glad
introduce
you're here.
Janet Varney.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, our dear, dear friend who we love very, very much. Hi, Janet.
Yeah. Hi, Janet.
Hi.
From the JV Club
everybody.
podcast, also on the Maximum Fun Network.
Should I make this official by playing? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the theme song.
Ooh.
I know how to do this. I've figured it out. All right, here we go.
Okay.
This is very exciting. Let's see if it works.
DJ Hal.
On the ones and twos.
Podcast should have a theme song. Podcast should not have a theme song. Yes, they should. No, they shouldn't. They sound good. Yeah, but people are just going to skip past it. You know what? You're right. We got this.
Yeah.
Right, I did it.
Satisfying.
It is very satisfying. That is, of course, Mike Furman, along with whom I convinced Janet Varney to get an Oculus.
Oh, really?
True.
You got an Oculus?
It's true. Yeah.
Why am I yelling?
I
got so mad.
It's true.
Oh, you got an Oculus? What's it like? Do you play Beat
well
Saber?
every time I talk to Gags about it, I am embarrassed because I've done so little with it.
That's okay because I've done so little with it as well. I would feel bad, or I would feel like a real idiot if you were like, "Oh my God, I've already beaten this game and this game. Have you tried this one and this one?" I'd be like, I just go in
You just watch
tilt,
movies
brush,
on a building,
and
right?
paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like watching movies on the side of a building.
Yeah.
Ken Plume, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's Ken Plume and his air conditioning. It's
The
very
air
hot.
conditioner is off. Thank you
In
very
North
much. This is a
Carolina.
live show.
Oh, my
I'm on
goodness. I
time
don't know.
and
I
no
thought it was
AC on.
I didn't know. Look, I didn't realize. You don't have an Oculus, do you, Ken? Because you have everything else behind you.
Both
The Oculus
Mark,
the only thing missing.
because I have
Dig, there's one in
PlayStation.
there.
Look, there's a PlayStation VR right there.
Oh yeah.
That's what I decided to get
Yes.
because I had friends that were on it, and I had a PlayStation at the time, and the Oculus was super
Sure,
expensive.
I get it.
But now,
Did you decide on laser discs back in the day as well?
Uh,
This is where technology is going.
I had video discs, which were the analog version of that, which was basically a giant vinyl record that played video.
Did you guys ever mess around with a PXL 2000 camcorder as a kid?
Yes. My
That
friends
was-
and I made videos on that.
Fisher Price made a camcorder where you could, as a
yeah.
little kid, make movies on audio cassettes.
On audio cassettes was the medium.
Yeah, it was great.
No, I don't know anything about this.
I remember it existing, but I did not have one.
And then hipster skateboard kids took it over, and it became like the thing to do was make skateboard videos on audio cassettes, which now in 2020, I can't think of anything more Silver Lake.
They were our
than
generation
making
GoPros.
skateboard videos on an audio cassette.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Oh, I should point out the reason why we're doing this. The reason why we're here doing this live stream, not only because we all wanted to hang out together and make you watch, but because it's Max Fun Drive, and we are sister shows. We got the JV Club with Janet Varney, and amazing guests, like an incredible podcast. If you've never listened to it before, you are depriving yourself of, like, if people like our podcast because they feel like they're sitting in the room with us. I remember getting to record an episode of JV Club with Janet and getting to go hang out in the same room that you were sitting in right now, right? Isn't that the same room?
No, I think
Nope.
we were in the I think we were in the den.
It's the other end of the house. Anyway, we were there. We were.
That's all.
Even in
I should have
recording
just said
it,
yes.
Yeah.
Who cares?
when it was over, I was sad because I wasn't in the room anymore.
Yeah.
Like in the room of recording the podcast. Of course, Janet and I could just talk anytime. I guess that's a bad example. But if you listen to it, you like want to be there and you feel like you're in the room. And Janet is a great conversationalist, and it's a great exploration of what people, what lives were like when we were younger, and who we were influences who we are now. Is that fair to say, Janet?
Yeah, and just a lot of the time we just talk about how dumb it would be to buy video discs. Sorry, Ken.
They're movies on a record.
It's an amazing technology for its day.
Janet, is
Rob,
it...
I haven't had you on yet, so you got to come on and defend yourself. That'll be fun.
Defend your video discs.
I like to put everyone on the
I am
defense
there.
before we start.
I will
Yeah.
bring
Real
my
gotcha
video disc
podcasting.
copy of Star Wars with me.
Good. Yeah, I just want to point out I drew with eyeliner an M and an F
It's-
on my
Yes.
face because
Max
dear
Fun.
Lord.
That's
Yes.
right.
Also,
Oh,
it's also
that's
Max
why.
Fun.
Yes.
Why wouldn't I? Because I don't have any reason to ever dress up for anything anymore ever. So I might as well. I'm acting like I would normally be going to a rave. That's basically what I've done. I've been to one rave in 2000 and it was not for me. But suddenly now that I'm once again basically stay at home, as I'm sure will be ordered to do in Los Angeles shortly.
Yeah.
Now is my time to really shine. With
Do you have your
all
glow
my
sticks?
latent wave stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, your
Also, your-
pacifiers
I probably do
ready.
have some glow sticks.
The jeans that are like this big around at the bottom.
Yeah,
Does the M and the
Pacifier.
F glow under the black light?
Yeah.
it probably would because it is kind of a metallic.
Oh.
Look at that. See that? See
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
unnatural? That's probably made out of nuclear
We have
waste.
a Max Fun rave.
Yeah.
Max Fun rave.
That's what this is. Wait, let me. I
Yeah.
can't even turn these lights on and off quickly or pretend I can. But this is Max Fun Drive. You can see over my left shoulder, which is to your right, that you can become a member right now if you haven't already, or upgrade your existing membership at MaximumFun.org/join. But this is not only creating awareness for the drive, but just to say thank you to all the people who support both of our shows in the many ways that you do, both financially as members and sharing and commenting and leaving reviews. All that stuff is super helpful, and we notice and appreciate all of it, and all the interaction from listeners to both of our shows is great. And we're here to appreciate all of you and clean the slate of topics you have suggested.
That's right. These are all of the topics for those who are not familiar with our format. We settled the world's pointless debates once and for all time, definitively. And many of them that we get suggested are not quite, I'm not going to say worth an hour's discussion, but they're not quite worth an hour's discussion, but they're definitely worth a mention and a figuring out. So we brought Janet on to help us with that in her disarmingly joyful and kind way that
Impossible to eliminate anything lest their feelings get hurt, even if they're inanimate objects.
Yeah.
I'm the perfect person to clean the slate.
oh god
There's gonna be
I know.
more on the slate when we finish because
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, how could we forget?
Welcome to Filthy Slate,
What a mistake.
first ever.
Yeah.
Just gonna be mucked up.
Just so
Yeah.
you know, anything that you eliminate or that you are privy to eliminating, Janet, everyone who was ever involved with it, anything that has ever touched that specific thing will fall into a deep chasm of death.
Hate you.
Just so you know.
Yeah, that's gonna be very painful.
Yeah.
Can I-
Cool,
can-
cool.
Before we jump in, I have a question to ask. This is a sincere question.
Mm-hmm.
So around here, hair salons have closed, and I love the person who cuts my hair, but even when they were open, I would go and see that she was like hanging out with people on the beach. I was like, there's no way I'm going to get my hair cut. So I got this, which is a kit. It
Oh, are
has-
you cutting your own hair now?
No, Jennifer's going to cut my hair. Is this something that I should live stream? Do you think people would want to see?
Is it a Flowbee?
No, it's a full set. I'll show
It
you.
is if you hook it up to the Dirt Devil.
Yeah, you put a dirt devil on it. No, it's like a full.
Oh, it's a
there are
Tennessee Flowbee.
clippers, two clippers,
Okay.
and all the guides, and there's scissors in here.
This is gonna end so well.
It's so. This is Jennifer's genuine reaction. I was like, "Do you think you would cut my hair?" And she went,
Oh no.
"Yes."
That's what I do too. Anything like that, I'm always up for.
My
So who
God.
knows?
I cut
Are you
my
the,
own
are you
hair.
the groomer?
Am I the groomer?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're like, give me the thing. I can do this. No. Any of your friends come to you like, hey, I'm thinking
Yeah.
about doing that. Shave it up just a little
Yeah.
bit. You're like,
That you're what? That you're thinking about removing that mole? Let me get
Doctor.
my tools. Yeah.
oh God.
But we're not here to
Um,
cut my hair yet. Should I?
no.
But should I stream that? Would you watch
Yes.
it? Would
Yeah.
you be on while we did it?
I wouldn't miss it.
All right, fine. What's our first topic? Maybe we will. We'll all reconvene. Look, if in 20 years none of us is married, let's reconvene, and I'll get my hair cut on the internet.
And you won't have gotten your hair cut since 20 years ago.
I'll look like Steve Gutenberg and Don't Tell Her It's Me, which for
Oh,
some reason
God.
Paul
Boy.
watched for the first time the other night.
I've never seen Don't Tell Her It's Me.
he's overweight,
very
and he gets
weird.
sick and then loses weight, and he like adopts this persona where he's got so he can go out with Jamie Gertz. He gets like this really long blonde mullet and rides a motorcycle. He's a cartoonist.
Yeah.
I think.
The hidden identity movies of that era. We were obsessed with that. Is
Yeah,
it
this
just 'cause
sounds
Hollywood
like
prosthetics
sad.
got a little better, and it
I
was
guess.
like we have got to take full advantage.
Yeah.
Did anyone ever tell her
we can
it
make
was
a
him?
lady out of Robin Williams?
She never found out at the end of the movie. She was like,
She never
"This is
found
great."
out.
Roll credits.
Yeah.
And that was it.
You have to wait till don't tell her it's me too. This time tell her it's me.
It's called "I Told Her It Was Me."
Oh.
Ken, what's our first topic?
So we have a bunch of topics that were kindly suggested by our listeners.
Great.
I'm going to be prompting with a topic. I'm going to disappear for a bit while they're discussing. I'll come back in with the next topic.
Promise.
But maybe if you cut your hair for us. This is the summertime, so we're going to start with a summer topic, and this is from listener Chris Rooney.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
And the
Shout out to
topic
Chris.
is flip-flops or sandals.
Oh,
There's the difference here that flip-flops are the split toe and they go clackety-clack when you walk. But like a sandal's like a Tiva.
you could still have a toe thing, a toe split for a sandal. It's just
Yeah.
I think a sandal does it have a backing? Does it have like a
like a
way to
gladiator.
keep it
So-
on your foot differently?
So like would you consider a Birkenstock a sandal, even though there's no thing across the back?
I would.
But I'm not trying to poke holes. I'm just saying, like, what are we consider? Because, like,
Yeah.
I think a flip flop. And tell me if I'm way off base here. I think a flip flop is way more practical and useful, and throw it in a beach bag or slip them on to get the mail. But sandals, you can find more stylistic opportunities with sandals.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. I want to say there have got to be more people out in the world like me who cannot sustain a flip-flop without kicking one off.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how do I walk like shoot, because I feel like I shoot them off my feet
Yeah.
really easily. And I
You
also
do
feel
walk
like
aggressively.
I did walk very aggressively,
Yes.
so the projectile issue is a problem. And I also feel like somehow I find a way to step on whatever, like a glass shard that's going to get into that rubber. Not saying it goes through to the foot, but or just like I take an awkward step on a rock and it's just not a strong enough support, and so somehow it like hurts the ball. So I'm a sandal person. But I understand what you're saying about flip-flops. But I also feel like I see people wearing flip-flops in situations where I don't feel that they should be. And so that has cast a
the
shadow
Academy
on
Awards?
flip-flops in general. Yes.
I'm always weirded out.
Academy Awards.
I'm always weirded out when I see someone with flip flops in a bar.
Yeah.
That but sandals in a bar, I could be like, okay, they're a I guess it's also more in the summertime. There are more styles for women's sandals than there are for men's sandals. I pretty much
True.
can only think of Birkenstocks and Tivas and Crocs. Are Crocs considered sandals?
They're their own
They're their-
category.
Slip-ons?
They do make a thong style, which is what a flip flop is. That is like the split toe kind of flimsy shoe. And if you see people wearing those in a bar, I guarantee you that somewhere on that bar's logo is a winking parrot. For sure, a winking parrot.
A winking parrot like hanging off of the inside of a margarita glass.
Or
Yes.
hanging off of the pocket on the
Yes.
shirt?
Yeah.
Just a drunk parrot, and a
Yeah.
busty lady is involved somehow.
Man,
Probably.
Wings are
that's-
25 cents on Wednesdays.
You just described my favorite bar in Florida.
All of them.
Couldn't have been more sure that would be the state you would name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you
doesn't sound
you
like a
just named
Florida
my
thing?
favorite bar in Michigan. No, that's not
Yeah.
that's
Up
not
there,
what you say.
right up in the Yoopers.
Yeah.
The other thing about flip flops, those flimsy kind of sandals, just another opportunity to have an accident is if you go to the boardwalk, like a proper boardwalk, there's space in between, and a thin enough sandal can get caught in there, and then your foot does that thing where it flexes forward. It's painful. I think a sandal.
Yeah.
is
And
way
they're
better.
slippery. If if
Yeah.
it's a wet pool area, might as well be barefoot. You're probably gonna survive more.
But from what both of you are saying, it sounds like you are frequenters less of the more fancy flip-flops that are sold by sandal companies. Because like every flip-flop problem that you guys are talking about are the problems that you get with the like 99-cent store, super thin, like it's barely an insole that you're just walking around on the ground with. Do you think you guys, if you were given better flip-flop, I don't know why I feel like I have to be flip-flop here.
I don't know. Captain Flip Flop.
I agree that flip-flops have a place in time. I absolutely have flip-flops. I do use them to shuffle over to like if it's a hot tub situation.
Right.
But yeah, I just need something. I need something that's going to protect my klutziness more.
Yeah.
And since that is kind of the general idea of shoes, to protect you from the ground, maybe sandals are in fact the better choice. Flip-flops feel like they are the I'm technically wearing shoes of shoes.
Yeah. I'm
You know
allowed
what
to
I
be
mean?
in this 7-Eleven.
Yeah, I'm technically wearing shoes. This counts as a shirt also.
This flap of rubber and plastic strap mean I can go wherever. This is my passport to the world.
And this
That's right.
dickie means I can get into this cheesecake factory because it's a shirt.
Yeah. And those are the only two things I'm wearing.
Yeah. I'm Porky Pigging it otherwise.
Yeah.
No.
So
Nobody
it's
would do that with
sandals.
sandals. Yeah, sandals.
I think
Ask
it's
and
sandals. I
answer.
hope you approve,
Sandals.
Chris. I hope that's the answer you were hoping for.
Yeah, I hope you want to. A lot of times, Janet, people want validate. They're like, "Is this right?" Like that will be something that we get. Is it okay to do whatever? Which means 100% they do it, or they're very mad at somebody who does it. I'm pointing at nobody can see, and you can't even see my arm. But this one feels if you were a flip flop person, Chris, no more.
Yeah,
Get
no
you
more
some
no more
sandals.
flip-flops.
Yeah. You'll be glad you did. It's okay. You'll be glad you did. Ken, what else do we have? And also,
Can I just say that whole idea of someone just wants the confirmation? It is always my favorite episode when we do not give it to them. It's like, no, this is not a question. You pour the cereal in first and then the milk. Don't try to get us to validate your thing.
Yeah.
I have to also say, Ken, I love you have headphones. Can you just turn to the side so we can see? Like they wrap around the back instead of over the top.
Yeah.
So you look like if Apple designed Lobot.
Yeah.
Who is Lobot?
Get out of here. What's the topic? He's from Star Wars. He's the guy with the
Which
big
one's
things on
Lobot?
his
Mark Porky
Lando's
Pigs it,
administrator. He's
Lando's administrator.
Oh, you're
what
right.
he's
I'm
So he's
sorry, guys.
Lando's bestie administrator.
I forgot.
he was
forgot
controlled
about
by a
Lando's-
wristwatch. It's not a friend.
Bestie and not so secret lover on Cloud
Yeah.
City. Thank you very much, Mark.
Cherry 2000, but the Cloud
Isn't
City
everybody's
version.
Lando lover? Isn't everybody Lando's lover in Cloud City?
That's true.
I mean, look, he's very.
It's his city in the clouds.
He loved them all. They see him doing his walk of shame with flip flops on.
carrying his
The
heels.
shuffle.
Yeah, he's shuffling. He doesn't want to slip. Sorry, what's our topic?
Well,
Ken?
everyone, it wouldn't be We Got This without a food topic. So this will
Great.
be our first clean slate food topic, and it is from Travis Holland, and it is best Danish strawberry, apple, or cheese.
Ooh.
Okay.
Wait a
Three
minute.
three top. Got to choose between three things.
Yeah.
Early or a little early to have to choose between three instead of
I know.
two. This
Yeah.
is tough.
And the
This is-
fourth one, the winner is the one that's not even being mentioned here, which is the cherry Danish.
Oh.
Not on the list.
Why was
Not on
that
the
left
list.
off? Why
I
was
don't know,
that?
man.
Not on
Why
the
don't we
list.
put it
Don't
back
get
on?
into
We go to
conspiracy
battle with the
theories.
weapons that we were given in these trenches.
So apple, cherry, or what's the no?
No,
wait, apple,
now you're
cheese.
inserting
Now
cherry
you're
into
wait,
it.
hold on. Yeah, I've never
cherry.
Apple cherry 2000 or
That's the Melanie Griffith shaped Danish. Wait, it's
Like,
cheese?
is cherry just a Philly thing, and you're sneaking it in there?
No, it's
Like you did-
everywhere.
What's this sandwich called? Oh, is it a Subway or is it a sub or is it a
Yeah,
hero?
that's right.
It's a hoagie.
Cherries are exclusive to Philadelphia. They exist nowhere else.
Do you
There's
guys
no cherry
remember?
pie.
Do you guys remember when we were in New Zealand?
Yeah.
There was a grocery store right across the street from where we stayed, and they had a little sign in the produce section. It was real Washington cherries. And I was like, oh, cherries from Washington. Do you remember how much the cherries cost in New Zealand from Washington? And it blew my mind. $60 a pound.
Oh my god. I didn't remember they were that expensive.
I saw
That's
them. I was like,
crazy.
hey, Washington cherries, little taste of
Yeah.
home. Dear God, $60 a pound.
Yeah, those are the things that really remind you how far away you are, because so much of New Zealand feels familiar and great, and then you're like, oh right, Washington's
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, look, a McDonald's
$60, huh?
here on an island away from the whole rest of the world.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
that was
sure.
a great meal.
Anyway, are you a breakfast pastry person, Janet?
I love breakfast pastries. I can't say that I've had a ton of Danishes lately, nor can I say that would be my breakfast pastry choice. If I was going to go sweet breakfast pastry, I'm more of a donut, or dare I say, like an almond croissant.
No, I feel
Or
you.
something.
Those are
I
very good.
associate breakfast pastries with France, with French food, and because that's like what the treats were that my mom would let us get at this French bakery because she was a French teacher. That's the stuff that's the sort of go-to for me. So Danish feels more like on a table at someone else's house, but may or may not partake.
What other ways was your house Frenchified as a kid by your mom being a French teacher?
We would have a bûche de Noël for Christmas, which is just a cake that's like a little bit of cake and then just mountains of frosting to make it look like a log, and then like little mushrooms, sometimes like marzipan mushrooms, and the more they made it look like a little fairyland, the more wonderful it was. Yeah. But that being said, if I had to choose one of those flavors, all I can think too is like I'm thinking about like truck stop Danishes.
Yep.
I'm
sure.
struggling not to think of I'm struggling to think of like a really high quality, doesn't look like it's been sat on Danish, and I'm having a hard time.
Think about the continental breakfast at any Holiday Inn.
Yeah. Again,
Yeah,
that
it's
is
just
what
like
I'm thinking
France.
of. I would probably I would want the cheese Danish, but then I would look at the cheese and think, I feel like the ratio of there's too much whatever kind of cottage cheese, whatever kind of creamy cheese this is.
It's pepper
There's
jack.
too much for the rest of it, and I would probably take the strawberry.
Interesting. I 9 times out of 10 will grab the cheese Danish. And not only because I enjoy them, but I think specifically to this argument, I'm going to throw in for the cheese Danish in this, because it is the only time that I can think of where your combination is a cream cheese filling and a puff pastry. The rest of those, apple Danish, apple, even cherry, and what was the other one? Strawberry. They all seem like variations on a pie. It's just a pie in a different shape. But that one feels, if I think of that cream cheese and flake combo, I think of a Danish.
Fair.
But I will also reach for it in a truck stop.
Oh yeah, sure.
And also an audiobook, but it's in a big clamshell of cassettes. I love those.
The Danishes, you mean?
Yeah,
They're
it's
big
in a
clamshell
clam.
cassettes.
Yeah.
That comes with a bonus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is
You know,
a Dan Patterson Danish.
skater
Danish
punks, they
Patterson.
got that Danish, and they started using the cassettes to make skate videos.
That's right.
Yeah. I don't. Maybe I appear to be in the minority here, but I have never in my life had a strawberry Danish or seen them. Generally, if there is a small selection, cheese is always there. Sometimes it's blueberry. Frequently apple. The 3 I always see are apple, cheese, and cherry. Those are the 3 I see.
See, I always see apricot at places on
Sometimes,
the little
yeah,
one.
sometimes
I
you get
would
that too.
I
Lemon.
would definitely take apricot if apricot were on the table.
What?
Or
Look,
in the
guys,
clamshell.
cherry and apricot. I don't know if we've now doubled down on this conspiracy.
Yeah.
So is the winner cherry apricot?
I think it's cheese. I do think
good.
it's cheese. It's
Yeah.
so good. And for some reason, when I have one, I'm like, you know what will really wash this down?
Beer.
Because it's so rich is a glass of whole milk, which is the dumbest possible. I don't know why. Because it's less dairy. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Janet.
Yeah.
Sorry to do this.
No, it's fine. But that is a it's a
Yeah.
heavy commitment. Whole milk.
Like, the issues come up later. You don't think about it at the moment. There is no tomorrow when you're enjoying a cheese Danish. I think it's cheese Danish, but I'm insulted that cherry wasn't even included.
And I'm insulted
one of
that
the building
apricot
blocks.
wasn't. Is it? Do you guys say apricot or apricot?
I think I go back and forth. I
I
think
do
I'm
too.
wildly
I
inconsistent.
I
I
say
alternate.
apricot. Wait, let me think. Apricot.
And I think I say root and
Apricot.
route about equally.
As
like
far as,
possibly
like-
in the same conversation.
Oh,
Like,
but
oh,
it-
we could take a different route. I don't know. What route do you want to take? Like, it could be
Yes.
they could be that close together, and it wouldn't occur to me that I had pronounced them differently.
Yeah.
Apricot, apricot. I'd probably say apricot more.
Right on.
I do now. Neither of them sound right anymore.
You know
I
what
don't
does
if
sound
I-
right? Cheese Danish, asked
Yep.
and answered.
Asked and answered. That's
Yeah.
it.
I
She's
support that.
Danish. Apricot. What do you say, Ken? Do you say apricot or apricot?
Apricot.
Well, that
doesn't sound
sounded
right either.
definitive.
Asked and
I
answered.
guess that's correct.
Fair enough.
I also
I
like
the
Mark.
idea,
He sounded
Ken,
the
of you
most sure.
popping
He
back
did
in and
sound the
being
most
like,
sure.
by the way, the answer is this. Next question.
I like Mark how you managed in every episode to find a way to relate things to the free hotel breakfast that is
Yeah.
your ever destination on any
my
trip.
my life is about finding a free breakfast.
Sure.
Pretty much generally.
Well,
There's
that-
no
that
joke to
ties
the end
in-
of that.
that ties into our next topic.
Okay.
So this is from Ray Smotherman,
Okay. Thank
and
you.
this
Ray.
is
Ray.
best meal to be the big one of the day: breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Oh, Ray, that's a
I
good
mean, I
one.
know what the right answer is, but it's never the one I do.
Is the right answer breakfast?
I
That's
think
what the right answer is supposed
Yeah.
to be.
I'm always for a huge breakfast. Breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, dinner like a pauper.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who said that?
That's
What is that?
sexist, by the
is
way.
yeah. Exactly.
Probably some very
From,
old
from the top down, sexist.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? Royal for breakfast, mid-level royal for lunch, and less than royal for dinner.
It's classist.
All
Super
right.
catchy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I know that's what's good for you, but I typically have I typically
big dinner.
have the most, at dinner. What can I say?
I feel like this quarantine time has changed things. I'm always a light breakfast person, unless like expressly we're doing, if we are going out to breakfast
Right.
somewhere, then that feels like a weekend thing, a special thing. Generally very light breakfast. Then lunch is substantive, but I feel like dinner is really where you do sides, you do whatever. That's like that feels like more of a daily event. But now I eat like a big meal in the middle of the day, and then we're good.
Yeah.
Like just the timing of when the meal is, like meals have no meaning anymore, I guess
Yeah.
is the answer, Ray. But I think by and large, I would rather the big meal be at dinner, because that also feels like a more sociable time for people to gather. Your day is over, you
Yeah.
sit, you have a big meal, you talk with one another. There are generally multiple courses that you don't get with a breakfast, unless you're me at the brunch buffet anywhere.
I love a brunch
I do
buffet
love
too.
I do too.
Yeah.
I definitely love a brunch buffet.
I mean,
But
should
see, I think
Sunday
that-
brunch be
yeah.
the biggest meal then?
I would
happens
totally get
one
on
day a
board
week.
for that.
Yeah.
I would get on board for that because
we
I
hadn't
think
mentioned
I've-
brunch. Yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
Brunch does feel like, because I think I'm stuck in a feedback loop where when I do eat a big breakfast, I eat such a big breakfast, like if it's at a brunch, that I'm sleepy.
Mm-hmm.
So then my brain says, don't eat a lot until you're ready to go to bed. So I just keep doing that.
The
like,
cycle
oh,
of-
I can't eat too much lunch. I'll have to go straight to bed. I'll get so tired.
Well, look, one thing we can all agree on is it's not lunch.
Yeah, it's not lunch.
Right?
Although you just said that in the middle of the day. Yeah. I agree
yeah,
that
but
foreign
it's-
times are different.
I
That's
don't
the
know
thing,
what that
'cause
meal is.
dinner feels like I honestly I don't know the last time I even ate dinner. But I have breakfast, a large breakfast every day. But the same way that you are, Hal, where it's like you're in quarantines, you don't know like it's always been for me, the reason for a big dinner is the social element of it. I mean, like, I don't need to cook myself a big dinner 2 hours before I go to bed. But if, it's closing night of a play and we're all going out or we did the matinee and now we're all going out for dinner and we're all going to have appetizers and dessert. And it's like, that's a social thing, but minus the social element. Do we look at this question do we look at this question for the moment and stripping away all of everything around it? Or do we have to take social into consideration,
Yeah.
considering that's the way this show works?
Well, by volume, if we're talking about what are the biggest meal in terms of the volume of food you eat, I think it should be dinner. Because when you have that heavy breakfast, you're sleepy. It affects you for the rest of the day. This is assuming that you're eating irresponsibly, right? We're all assuming that.
Yeah, we're all eating
That's
irresponsibly.
what we're all,
Yeah.
Okay, great. Then I think it's dinner because then you're out of the woods of most of your obligations, and you can just be like, all right,
I mean,
let's get this body out of the road.
100%. Like every dietitian is like, no,
This is-
have I
yeah.
taught you nothing? No.
Sweating.
Yeah.
You're describing food the way I describe booze. Like, all right, do I have anything else important to do today? No.
It is.
Cool.
I think that
Now I
kind of
can
is how
start
Hal and
drinking.
I feel about food in a perfect
Yeah.
world. I
Yeah.
kind of think it is because it's like, let's celebrate by eating delicious cookies. Like that's you and I
Yeah.
are like children. Hal
Yes.
and I are our kids.
That's right.
We never moved on to booze being our treat. It's still like let's make brownies.
Sleeve of Oreos. Yeah.
yeah.
Those,
let's
those
eat an
two
entire box
cans
of cereal.
Right there
Oh.
are cherry pie fillings. I'm going to make a pie this week.
Oh, I can see. I can
Ooh.
absolutely see that's what it is now that you're saying that. It's very
Yep.
clear to me.
Yeah,
I
it
think
is
that's
very
filling.
clearly. You see the rectangular. All right, so but now we snuck this in a few
I
minutes
like
ago.
this brunch idea though.
That's exactly what I was just gonna say. We snuck
Yeah.
that brunch thing in. Like, I don't know if the question. Hey, Ken, is he still there?
I'm here.
Did we?
Where's it?
What was the exact wording of the question?
The exact wording of the
Because if it
question was
doesn't mention the
best
three
meal
meals.
to be the big one, breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Breakfast, lunch,
all
or
right.
dinner.
Oh,
Yeah.
trying to add another one. It's
Nice try with
cherry
the brunch.
Danish, isn't it?
Brunch. I think because
All
I
of a
honestly
sudden.
think brunch happens once a week.
It
Though,
does.
have you ever read any of the Bourdain stuff about never go to brunch at a restaurant?
No.
Oh, it's pretty great.
Oh no.
It's like, oh, it's just, or if you do, just go and, get regular breakfast food. Don't get whatever crazy thing they're making because that's just the week's leftovers.
Oh, okay.
They're like, hey, man, do you want a swordfish omelet? You're like, oh, you guys had a swordfish special on Thursday.
You know, if we're just choosing between the three basic meals, the 3 squares per day, I think it's dinner. You know, this Friday, to get a plug in, I'm going to be doing the Max Fun Drive dinner party. It's not a breakfast party or a lunch party. It's a dinner party. 'Cause it's
So
everybody
the
gets together for
social
dinner.
element
Yeah.
sends health considerations aside. The social element puts dinner over the top on this one.
Yeah. But
And
I eat
also
breakfast
just
for
like
dinner.
being realistic about what is probably true for most people
That's fair.
when they tend to eat the biggest meal.
Yes.
I think
It's-
yeah.
Look, it doesn't have to be difficult to make a big breakfast. You can just crack 8 eggs into a bowl and scramble them.
That's true.
Don't think I haven't. Don't
Oh,
think
yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah.
Asked and answered. It's dinner, everybody. Especially you, Ray. Especially.
Wow. Ray, I apologize. Hal is in a bad
I
mood.
don't apologize.
Wow.
I'm gonna make pie.
Oh man, if you could have actually just grabbed one just straight away.
Yeah, they're
That would be
this big,
so
and it's very
Al
small.
TV.
I have an easy bake oven.
Right.
I'm gonna make them like that.
Like the giant phone in the foreground in Top Secret.
Yes.
Oh, top secret.
I love that
That
movie
might
so
be
much.
yeah, I might need to revisit that.
Have you
for giggles.
do you have a favorite revisit movie from the lockdown?
Like going back.
Like
going
I
way
watched
back?
The Princess Bride for the first time in a decade and was delighted to do so.
I've been watching The Princess Bride on Quibi, and it has been a highlight of quarantine for me. It is
they-
charming and wonderful.
Are they what did they is it a did they make a series out of it?
No, it's a series of episodes, but it's a billion different great, funny, and just straight up actors taking on the roles, and they're all at home. And
Oh, that's
so
cool.
it's
I gotta check this out.
really lo-fi. Like there's little like Lego figures for the far away stuff that someone's put together. And,
I
like
love
you know,
that.
Jack Black plays. He's and there's a ton of people who rotate in and out of playing all of the different roles. And so like one that I just watched, Jack Black is on the cliffs of insanity and he's climbing, so he's lying on a series of steps. So it looks like kind of what they actually do in movies. He's lying there and looking up and the camera it's just so clever and adorable. Yeah.
I did not know
it's
that this was
great.
happening. I'm very excited to now check it out.
honestly, and I know that everyone jokes about Quibi because they launched at a weird time and have some weird, sometimes not perfect marketing techniques. But that alone, to me, is worth the subscription. It is so cute. Fred Savage reprises his role, but then like
Amazing.
Adam Sandler is Peter Falk in the beginning, and he's does a perfect Peter Falk. It's great. It's great.
I'll check it
Tiffany
out.
Haddish gets to do it. Like common. There's a bunch of people who play roles that they would probably never have gotten to play for many reasons, but that getting to see it's just great. It's great. I highly recommend it.
You can also check it out via the free trial, Mark.
Great.
Oh, that's
I
true. Free
honestly,
trial, free
I
trial.
mean, part of my brain did go, Quibi, when does that launch? So
Yeah.
perhaps it's not been a.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do like their idea, though. I still think that's still the thing, right? That you can watch
Yeah.
it either this way or this way.
You can.
They shoot everything in both directions.
You can. I'm on a
That's cool.
cartoon that comes out every single day because it's hard to describe, but it's horoscopes that are also like these really funny cartoons. And it's amazing how like moving it seems like a nightmare to animate, but
Yeah.
it's a really cool effect.
Look at this. A show I didn't know that Janet Varney's on so many shows. I don't even know which shows Janet Varney.
I'll send you a clip. It's pretty
Yeah.
it's pretty funny. It's Will Arnett's company and it's just ridiculous and funny.
What's the name of the
But
show?
Your Daily Horoscope. And it's
Great.
like it's very meta. There's like the characters are astrological figures, aka they're animals, who all work at a company that I think is the one generating the horoscopes. It's like very, very weird and insular. But it's really funny.
I mean, look, is it going to be as accurate, or I should say inaccurate, as the Orange County Register has been lately?
I mean, listen, this is a big time astrologer that they actually use. They're real.
Is it really? They're real actual horoscopes?
Uh-huh. It's actual horoscopes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's funny.
All right, what is
Anyway,
our
sorry, that
next
did not mean to
topic?
do that.
No, plug away.
Yeah, do it.
Our next topic comes
It's
from
all about Quibi.
Cassie Jennings. Should I get a free trial to Quibi? Yes or no?
Yes.
Oh, Cassie,
Yes,
this has
of
worked out very
course.
well. Yes, please do.
Cassie's
We
actual
love you,
question is
Cassie.
to jort or not to jort?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
This is actually a
Wait.
bit of a retro question.
Yeah.
Were you jorters?
Were.
Are you a jorter now?
I'll give you my thoughts on jorts. Is they are okay if homemade. If you've just cut off an old pair of jeans, I think that's reasonable. I'm personally not a huge fan of the ones that are like they have like the bottom of jeans hem along the shorts part, because it's like
Yeah.
these have always been jean shorts. You know what I mean?
Why
don't
did I
know.
not? I guess I thought you just called them cutoffs. I didn't know that you called them jorts.
I mean, you don't have to call them jorts. I don't think there's any store with a jorts section.
No, that's a pejorative. It is.
It is.
That is like oh, you're wearing jorts because they're jeans.
Yeah.
Got it.
Or just jean shorts is a real mouthful. So can we get that
Yeah.
a little smaller,
Jorts.
please?
I mean, I like it. Listen, I'm on board. I just
Sure.
Yeah.
felt very ashamed that I didn't know that that's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say jorts are an absolute A+, and
Yeah.
why do we need to
Clothes
disparage them by calling them jorts? I generally think with clothing, it's wear what you want.
Can we call them Lil Dungarees?
Little dungarees. Oh man. Little dungarees sounds like a corporate character that got invented for either a kids clothing store or a fast food chain.
I'm
Yeah.
Lil
Dungarees says time
It's
to
okay
go
to wear
school
me.
shopping.
Yeah.
Don't
or
don't
possibly
cyberbully
like,
people.
or like, kids should work in the fields while their parents are at war.
Get in that factory, Timmy.
Wow.
Lil Dungarees needs you.
This
Yeah.
newsreel animated character is right. I'm going to sign up right now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean,
jorts
I
are
guess I
great.
don't have any jorts, but
No.
No, not since the 90s. I had them in the 90s. I'm sure I did. I'm
I
sure
have
had
one
cuffed
pair
ones.
that
You
I have one pair of jean shorts that are just cut off jeans that I feel a little bit self-conscious when I wear them, because I'm like, is it okay that I'm wearing these?
are
It's
you wearing
fine.
them with flip flops?
Oh yeah, they're very much
In Florida?
It is very much a let's go to the thatched roof bar in Florida that has a parrot dangling off of a glass on the pocket.
It's great.
Yeah, wear your jean shorts.
Yeah, sure. I'm fine with it. I don't know.
Great.
I like the cutoffs version better than the hem version. I agree with you. But look, if you
Oh yeah, but
if you
don't
like
I
the
don't want
jean
to the
shorts.
cutoff version that's so short that the white lining the
Oh, yeah.
pockets are
The
poking out
yeah,
from the bottom.
the
is
That's not for
dumb.
me.
Dukes,
That's
they're
not for me.
called. Yeah, no.
Though I do like, I saw this actually yesterday. I saw somebody who had one of those super tight, super short, super tight cutoff jean shorts, but the pockets were hanging below the shorts, but also crazy full. So they're just like
Saddlebags.
little saddlebags that are hard to
Yeah.
get to because
Yeah.
the jeans are so tight.
You know, you can see the same thing in the men's sauna at the YMCA. You can see the same thing. But yeah, sure,
Yeah.
jorts.
Wear your
Wear
jorts.
Great
Enjoy them.
jorts.
Asked and answered. That's an easy one.
You can see Mark wearing his jorts when he washes his car on a hot Saturday afternoon.
That's
right.
right. All to raise. That's all to get people to join Max Fun, which you can do at the address right over here over my shoulder. That's if we reach 1,000 new and upgrading members to our show. We got this. Mark will post a video of himself in his cutoff jean shorts and nothing else, cleaning his new car.
What is happening?
Totally agreed.
What?
Yeah.
Can
While
we
I get my
social
hair cut.
distance you in the background getting your hair cut?
Yeah, I'll be in the background getting my hair cut.
With your Floby?
Yeah, with my Floby.
Oh my God. What's our next topic?
Our next topic comes from a listener known to all of us, Heather Mbaye.
Hello, Heather.
Hi, Heather.
And the question is Bill S. Preston or Ted Theodore Logan?
Oh my goodness.
Janet, thoughts?
No, don't ask me first.
I mean, one of them is Keanu Reeves, and the other one is not Keanu Reeves.
But he's Alex Winter, who's a brilliant
Alex Winter is
filmmaker
brilliant and
writer.
great, yes. But one of them's Keanu Reeves, man.
I know, but that's why I wanted to see what you guys were saying because I thought maybe Alex needs the love in this moment. Maybe he's the underdog that needs to be called out. That being said,
True.
I don't choose him. I do choose Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's look at the characters. So in the original movie, it's Alex went not I don't want to say Alex and Keanu. I want to say
Bill
Bill
and
and Ted. So
Bill and Ted.
Bill's the one who it's at his house. His dad has married the like model stepmom,
Who
and
wa- who
Ted's
was, like, 4
dad
years
is
ahead of them. Yeah.
right, who was in the school when they were in the school.
Yeah.
His dad is the cop, the tough cop,
Military guy,
threat or military threatening to send him to military school.
Yes.
What else do we know about them offhand?
Bill obviously works as a lawyer because he's Bill S. Preston Esquire. He's also kind of the ringleader.
And Ted Theodore Logan, whose name by that rationale is Theodore Logan.
Yeah. They certainly you can't. They are the yin to the other's yang. They are two halves of a whole. But it always struck me that Bill was a little bit more of a leader, and Ted was more willing to follow. Like Bill seems to have the ideas, and Ted is willing to go along with them.
Yeah.
Now the stakes for Ted are a lot higher as we move through it. And by the second one, I think he's being threatened with. He gets threatened with military school in the first one, but I don't think that's gone away after. He still has that fear, so he's got probably higher stakes. Whereas Bill just lives in constant shame that Missy, his stepmom, is I think 4 years older than them.
Yeah.
And in the second one, she's broken up with Bill's dad and is with Ted's dad. That is the joke, is that she's left one for the other. And then I think she wound up with Chuck Denomalos at the end.
Who is Chuck Denomalos?
He's the gym teacher who's the bad guy.
Is that the
in Bill and
actor's
Ted 2.
name?
No, that's the character.
That's the
He's
character.
Denomalos, but his first name is Chuck, and he's a gym teacher.
Right. I haven't seen
find
part
out.
2 in a very, very, very long time.
It's great. It is one of the better sequels that has ever been made.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That is
Sadler is death.
that's a weird hot take.
But
So we
I mean,
pick
also,
Bill.
yeah, it might be
Is
Bill.
it? It
but-
might be. Yeah, as a character. Now I'm thinking about it, and I'm remembering from the first movie that there is a lot, but Ted comes through in a pinch with a lot of brilliant, quick ideas. You know, whose idea was it to set the keys up and rig the whole jail so that they could escape? And then when they're finally caught, trash can, remember a trash can. And then a trash can that says Wild Stallions drops on. Like, Ted comes through in a pinch, but it might be Bill if, I mean, there are some problematic moments in there. Is there one of them that has fewer of the problematic moments than the other?
I think they kind of share in that shame
Yeah,
together.
they kind of do. They kind of do.
They kind of share in it. And look, Keanu Reeves, as maligned as he is, oddly, and I brought this up before.
Who will malign him?
Like, yeah, if you look at I will throw his career up against almost anybody else in the
Yeah.
history of Hollywood, and he will have way more good choices than bad choices. And these like his love for these movies and the extent to which he buys in and brings like truth, he brings truth to it in a way that Alex doesn't, because Alex is he feels like more of a sketch player in it, and he also has more stakes in it as one of the creative minds behind it. But as a character, I think Bill is. That's the question: is the ringleader the better one, or is it the guy who sort of follows along but has higher stakes because he's got military school looming over his head?
Are you saying that it's your argument being that the acting performance is better by Keanu than Alex
They're
Winter?
both great. Like
It's a
one's-
perfect, yeah. They're
like
perfect
5
together.
stars versus 4 3/4 stars. It's not. It's not like Alex Winter is fantastic. It just amazes me the extent to which Keanu Reeves commits to that, even after he had already become Keanu Reeves and came back for the sequel, and even through all of that, through every hit he's had, talking about like, I can't wait to bring Bill and Ted back. Like, has
But can
been
I
on
ask you
board-
this, Al?
Yes.
On Star Search, who goes forward? The 5 stars or the 4 3/4 stars?
I think it's the 5 stars.
Yeah.
That is what happens.
Yeah. He even has better facial hair when they come back from having learned how to play guitar with their babies on their backs.
So good. God gave rock and roll to you, and God gave Keanu Reeves to us. So what are we going with?
I think
5
we're all going
stars.
to go with Ted Theodore Logan.
Ted Theodore
I think everyone's
Logan.
head.
Yeah.
Short
Let's
for
keep him-
Theodore Logan.
Yeah. Let's keep him out of military school. Asked and answered.
Amen.
Great.
Theodore Logan. Station.
Station. Oh, God.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey better than Godfather Part 2. Hal Lublin.
Yes,
Huh.
because
Yeah, that's
because
what
you
he
can
said.
watch it without having seen Bill and Ted, and it will still make sense. Godfather. My parents.
There's no way that's true.
No, my parents. One of their first dates was to go see Godfather 2, which they walked out of because they hadn't seen Godfather 1. If you've not seen Godfather 1, Godfather 2 makes zero sense. If you've seen Godfather 1, Godfather 2 is not only one of the greatest films ever made, but is better than The Godfather, which is already like a Mount Rushmore film. So it is oddly affected by, like, if you watch it out of order, it won't make any sense. You might not even want to watch The Godfather after you watch The Godfather 2. You're like, this is what everybody was talking about? I don't even understand what's going on. Because you don't know, you have all the Robert De Niro stuff, but you haven't really seen Marlon Brando. Like, you don't know who Vito Corleone is. So going back to his career,
when
like,
did a
who
movie
cares?
sequel, when did its value become contingent on? I mean, listen, the only thing that's great about a really good sequel is you don't have to watch the first movie. Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Why,
And
don't
is there a
punish
bookend?
someone for being like, we're gonna pick this up where we left off?
Is there a
Otherwise, they could have
bookend,
called
Hal?
it Godfather, TOO. Like,
Did your
two.
parents
This
also
is
do a date
also
night
a
at Bill and
Godfather.
Ted's
Godfather.
Bogus
separate
Journey?
story. Yeah.
Yeah, they walked out of that because they hadn't seen.
And they're
By the
like,
way,
oh, that I understood. Godfather Part 2, no clue.
Yeah.
Another
I didn't
fun
need
fact.
to see the first.
My first ever date was to go see. Was a blind date to see Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and I think it was my 10th time seeing it in the theater.
Oh, my
Was
God.
that middle school?
Yeah, I was 12.
Janet Varney, have you ever walked out of a movie?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I've walked out of a lot of movies.
Really?
Oh, really?
Uh huh.
Like, that is... like more than 50% of the movies you go see.
And by the way, I don't know if I've ever asked for my money back. So it's not like a thing where it becomes a customer service issue.
I got here before
It's
the credits started.
Yeah. It's just me being like, my life's too short for this. I gotta go.
Like that is like I'm imagining any movie, like you sit through all the trailers and movie starts in 15 minutes, you're like, nah. And then you're just out.
No, I mean it's like, I'll get a ways through it. I remember very specific ones that I walked out of, some of which I have come to feel kind of bad about.
Can you tell us one that you don't feel bad about that you walked out of fairly early on?
Yeah.
Couples Retreat.
Really?
Yeah.
That movie feels like, and doesn't just feel like, is also proclaimed to be, they just wrote that movie so they could go on a vacation with their friends in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like all Adam Sandler
was
films now. He's like, I want to go make a movie in Hawaii. Look, you
Yeah.
earned it, Adam. I'm not
Yeah.
knocking it, but you heard like regard me, and then you just got up and walked out. You're like, nope, gotta go. Wait, what is one you walked out of? What is the best movie you've walked out of? Like that.
Well,
that you rewatched and
the
was like,
one
this
that
is good.
the one that I feel the most guilty about was My Blue Heaven, because I loved Rick Moranis and I loved Steve Martin, and I felt betrayed when I mean, I was obviously very, very young. I don't remember who I was with. Like, was I with my dad? I don't know, but I definitely remember being like, I don't want this. I didn't sign up for this. I don't like this. I don't like this character that he's doing. And I got out
Why
of
is his
there.
hair
But I
dark?
also worshipped Steve Martin. So there's a real incongruity there that I would walk out, because
Have you
if anything,
revisited
you
it?
would think that would be something where I would be like, I've got to stick it out. It's, Steve Martin.
Have you revisited it and reassessed it?
I'm sure I've seen it since, but I still don't have any affection for it. I'm sure I saw it and was like, oh, this is cute. But that's not one I would cite as being in any way part of like the Steve Martin canon of stuff that I love.
I watched my first live auction on Saturday because the estate of Steve Martin, he's alive, but
alive.
he donated a bunch of things and was giving money in the name of Roddy McDowell to the actors home. So they auctioned off all of the suits from My Blue Heaven. And I was watching with Eric, and because of course Eric's like, hey, I'm gonna come over, let's watch that Steve Martin auction, and they auctioned off all of the suits from My Blue Heaven, and at one point, one at a time, and he was like, hey, these are going for pretty cheap, you should get one of these suits because that's like a really nice suit for not a lot of money. And I was like, dude, isn't like the joke of this movie how terrible he looks?
And it
all
was
the
like
time?
30 years ago or something.
It's
so
like
it's not
quadruple breasted.
Yeah, even 30 years ago, all of these suits look like David Letterman doing a Dick Tracy cartoon. Like just
well
weird,
said.
crazy
Well
angles.
said. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I do love me some Steve Martin though.
Yeah.
Ken, what do you got?
Got something for us?
I do. So this is from Michelle Colby,
Hi, Michelle.
Hi,
Thank
Michelle.
and the question is washcloth or loofah?
Yeah.
you. Washcloth or loofah?
I realize now, when I was a kid, like my mother had like loofahs and sponges that were loofah-like, and I would see them and it'd be like, this is so rough. This is such a rough material. Why would I ever want to run this over any part of my body, let alone the most delicate and private parts of human anatomy? But
I don't think
realize
anyone
now-
is asking you to loofah those.
Look,
but
who knows?
Go ahead.
I didn't know as a child, but now I realize that the reason behind that is that it's exfoliating, that it will help refresh your skin. Not in your most private of areas. Probably shouldn't do it there.
No, that's where you use a pet egg.
No. Well,
So
I'm
that's
gonna
such
go
a
vomit. This
horrifying.
podcast
That's
is over.
such a horrifying image. I'm not really terribly familiar with a loofah. Is a loofah, because I have like just like a it's a sponge with like a scrubby thing on the outside, or a loofah is its own.
A
I guess
loofah is its own
my question
thing.
is it absorbent? Because the thing about the big sponge that is great is with a washcloth, you're constantly reloading the washcloth. With the big sponge, you load it up once or twice, and it gets you through the whole process.
Sure.
Like it's a nacho bar. How many things are you putting on the washcloth? I gotta load it up.
Yeah. Hold on. I gotta put some soap in it. You have to get some Axe body wash. Then shredded cheese, a
Yep.
little bit of pico.
You press the red button and the chili goes like.
You don't want that brown
that
little
shoots
bit of
out on
chili
there.
that comes out first. You have to stand back, hit the button so the dried part of the chili comes
Yeah.
out. Then you get under there for
When
the
you
liquid
press
part.
those
Great.
buttons, it's like every machine Fogo and Lego had ever got involved with, where it's like, like you just press it and
I'll say, I know how to make that work.
yeah, and then he comes out and he's been put in a corset, but those are the scariest machines because like I'm gonna be the one who blows it up because I had to have chili, I had to have watery chili in quotes on my big bite more than anything else. I needed to have that chili
Yeah.
and yellow orange cheese, brown.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Let me ask you this: would you rather dispense that chili into a washcloth or into a loofah? Because the
tell you this.
loofah's
I'm
going to
gonna-
retain it for longer. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I'm gonna give you an honest answer,
Oh,
which is
finally.
I'm not responsible enough to not let the loofah become super mildewy.
Yeah.
So that's, the washcloth, you just pop it in the laundry, you get it taken care of. You can't do that with a loofah. I'm not even sure what you do with a loofah. I guess you just have to really wring it out so that it doesn't. But I just feel like that's one of those shameful items that reminds you you're a pig when you go into your shower and you're like, oh yeah, see, that's the person I am. That thing's disgusting. Yet I haven't thrown it away yet. Because
look at
that
it.
feels wasteful. So
Yeah.
it's a spiral.
Every time you're in the shower, you're like, damn you, Crabtree and Evelyn.
Yeah.
You win
Yeah.
this round. Yeah, I agree with the purpose of both of these things is to take care of you. You don't. This shouldn't be like a house pet where you have to care for it and love it, or else it will fall apart. Like
Dude,
a
my loofah
washcloth-
crapped in the living room yesterday. I had to rub its nose in it.
Oh, it was like looking at me like side eye when it,
Yeah.
it knew
Found
it
it
had done
under the
something wrong.
couch.
I know.
Yeah.
It knew.
I gave up on creating my loofah. Now I just let it sleep with me because it was crying all night, and
that's
I'm a
so sad,
sucker
though.
for
You're supposed to sit in the other room when it's crying and not do
know.
anything.
I know.
I was supposed to bring my loofah around other loofahs to sort of get it socialized, but once I do, it just starts tugging me all over Kingdom Come, and I can't
Yeah.
deal with it. It's washcloth. You
too
throw
much
it in the washing machine
responsibility.
when you're done. Yeah.
Can I ask a question that might make me seem like a monster? And I don't know if I'm a monster for this or not. Is there maybe I'm horribly off base here? The loofah and the washcloth generally seem like a step extra. What's wrong with just the bar of soap? You just do this with your hands. What's wrong with just doing this with the bar of soap?
Like
There's nothing wrong with that. I don't use a washcloth or a loofah.
neither either.
Okay,
Yeah.
now we're being honest.
But I also don't rub the soap all over my
I
body.
just
I
use
get a
the
good
soap.
lather, and then I use it, and then I'll load up again.
You know
I
what's good
just-
for
and I use,
lathering?
like, a body
This little patch of
wash.
chest hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even
Okay.
use this. The soap, again, the soap cakes up. I get a residue. I might slip in the shower. I don't trust myself. I
You
just
don't
use
have one of
like
those
a body
one of
wash.
those those mats with the clear wavy mat on the bottom of your tub.
Nope.
Gotta get
Too
one of those.
trippy. On the eyes.
If I look down, suddenly I'm Jimmy Stewart in Vertigo. If I look down at my feet while I'm doing that,
Yeah, I don't want my floor to look like the cyclorama from the Monkees. Davey would sing in front of. That's too much. I need a very bare bones shower experience.
oh my
No
god.
frills.
Yeah.
Um. Well, we have. So I'm
But
guessing.
that being said, I still say
Washcloth.
if between the two, 100% washcloth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's washcloth. Asked and answered.
Do we have time for one more? I know it's 7:04. We have to
what we're gonna
wrap
do.
it up. What are we doing?
Janet, I don't know how much time you have.
That's what I was going to ask. Janet,
I
have time for
definitely
one
have
more.
time for one
okay.
more.
What
Great.
we'll do is one more, and then for people who are listening to the podcast, you're going to be sad that you weren't here for the extra couple minutes. We're going to do a little bit extra just for the people who showed up as an extra thank you during Max Fun Drive. Ken, what is our final topic?
Our final topic.
You're very well lit, by the way, Ken. That ring light is. I know you were joking before that you got the giant ring light, but it's very good.
Yeah, looks good.
Giant ring light. Look, you can see that. See it in my glasses? There we go.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
Now I'm in a sci-fi film. So Austin Bateman
Hey, Austin.
asks, chocolate chip cookies, regular or chewy?
Chewy.
Chewy.
Wait, hold on. Oh, wait. I have a
First of all, what's regular? That's kind of an insult
Yeah.
to chewy.
This is not
crispy or
homemade.
chewy.
But like, if you got Chips Ahoy,
Right.
would you want do you like chewy Chips Ahoy? Do you like the original Chips Ahoy?
Chewy.
I would-
I'm all about the chewy.
I would
Really?
get chewy.
Like it when
Yeah.
like I hate Keebler Soft Batch. I want to like them.
Mm-hmm.
I
Ooh, they're
just
so
feel like-
salty. I mean,
they
I haven't
feel-
had one in a million years, but there are. That
And the last time I had them,
salt.
I got them out of the lake. So I get it. Wait, lakes aren't saltwater. Damn it.
So there's such a thing as a saltwater lake.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
sure.
true. Oh, yeah, Utah.
Yeah, the Dead Sea.
Was it the Caspian Sea that turns out is actually a lake, which I found out on Jeopardy last night?
Probably.
Yeah.
Anyway.
it sounds like it's right. Yeah, if I'm having homemade cookies, it's chewy
Yeah.
all the way. You want it,
yeah.
fresh enough that it's got some hold and it's like golden brown, but also you want a little chewiness to it.
You know what's going to help that? That I have discovered through the years, through my sister's cookie recipe, which I think is absolutely brilliant because it uses less butter, and the butter or whatever the fat is in it is what makes them flatten out and get crispier. So if there's less of that in there, it'll help that. But her recipe, I know I've said it on the show before, but I want to throw it out there again.
Do it.
Is just the recipe on the back of the Nestle Toll House chocolate chip bag plus a cup of Bisquick. Mic drop, my sister.
Oh,
Yeah.
Very
And
nice.
it makes them almost like a cross between a cookie and a tiny little muffin tops. That's what I like. I like a cakey cookie.
That sounds good. Yeah.
That sounds really good.
Are you, Janet, you're generally chewy cookies?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I was vehemently opposed to I will say Chips Ahoy would be probably the only cookie that's more what I like to use the term sandy,
Yes.
more of a sandy chocolate chip.
It is very sandy, yeah.
That I would have made an exception for as a kid. But everything, yeah, in general, I look for a chewy cookie. Like if it's, a cookie at a bakery or something, it's pre-wrapped and you sort of have the opportunity to pick it up and kind of give a little squeak, give a little test, see if it's got any pliability. Oh, it's giving a little, I want it. If it feels like it's going to just absolutely shatter the moment no, that's not for me.
Yeah, you don't want shatterable cookies.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, chewy. It's chewy chocolate chip cookies. Yeah. But the pre-packaged kind, just make your own. You should make your own. That's really great. I've been making these giant chocolate chip cookies that are like this big. They're probably they're probably like 7 inches across, and we will eat them when they're at their chewiest, and the bottom like caramelizes a little bit, which is nice. But you have to have that soft, chewy part.
Let's not overlook, again, Austin, the peculiarity of you saying regular versus chewy.
Yeah.
I know.
I feel
Oh,
like maybe we have
yeah.
a problem.
Yeah.
I brought up
you.
I've brought up before that people like have their own. I think Austin came here looking for validation.
For validation, yeah.
Guess
For,
what?
for
Because
the crispy one?
I might say regular versus crispy
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
or
You're-
sandy.
Yeah, you tried to like fool us. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me again. Wait, the first time it's shame on you.
Yeah.
I won't get
I won't get fooled again.
Anyway,
It's chewy cookies.
Like Jennifer will grab. I just saw her walk past it. She'll get cookies, like when they come out baked, and I'm like, let's let them sit and settle. But she is in there with the spatula and they're like, it looks like the persistence of time. Like the cookie is half melting off
know.
of it, and
Yeah.
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 Oh man, if you could make an all Salvador Dali, just like make them look like clocks on top.
Yeah.
And they just like melt them over things. I would totally eat that tray of cookies.
Yeah, sure you
Like
would.
it could be like on an ice cream cake and then like melting
just
chocolate,
draped
warm
over.
chocolate chip cookies melting and draped.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, you've definitely figured out dessert. And then a little cheese Danish jammed right in the top.
That's right. Well, that is it. Chewy chocolate chip cookies, asked and answered. Now we'll do our wrap-up portion of the show, but then we will stick around, everybody. That is it. Janet Varney, thank you for joining us, especially
Thanks
during
for
Max Fun Drive.
having
You're always so
me.
busy, but you like literally made room to be here with us, and we cannot tell you how much we appreciate it.
Oh,
appreciate you as a person.
I get so happy whenever you ask me to do anything. It makes my whole week.
Aw.
I wish, honestly, I wish I'd had longer to look forward to it. And I still had like days to look forward to it.
Well, you
but
know what?
I
In
could go even longer.
3 years from tonight, we're going to do
Yes.
this again.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I'm in.
Yeah. So now you have 3 years to look forward to it.
Yeah.
We also are probably going to have a lot of shows between now and then.
That works too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
If we were like,
not in
sorry,
love
we
with you.
can't work together for another 3 years.
That really backfired on me.
Yeah, this is
Rules
not
are
working out
rules.
at all.
Yeah, anything you want to talk about? This will probably not release for a little while, but anything in general you want to promote or tell people about? The
Well,
floor is yours.
I guess I already managed to sneak in that Quibi Your Daily Horoscope scoop. So there's that. And then, yeah, I mean, honestly, this is all about Max Fun. And you can always become a member. It has, you know, whether or not you listen to this a year from now, 3 years from now, when we're doing our reunion show and the guys haven't let me see them for 3 years, you can always become a Max Fun member or, you know, upgrade your membership. There's no time stamp on that, no time limit. So, you know, feel free to include the JV Club as one of the podcast pick for you if you do that. And it's a super fun podcast, and I've been doing it for 8 years, and I've only been at Max Fun for about 2 years. So there's a huge backlog of hundreds of episodes available to you, and lots of other amazing podcasts and great people on the network. So just bear that in mind. That's all. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you, Janet Varney, and your show is a delight. And you are wonderful and amazing, and we love you, and we love having you
Oh,
on.
my boys,
So
I love you guys.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And Ken, thank you for putting this together. These topics are all closed, but there are many more to discuss. So please reach out to us on Twitter at We Got This Tweets. Check out the Maximum Fun subreddit, or
Fire off an email to wegotThisPodcast@gmail.com or join our Facebook group where many of these topics you heard came from or originated from. I don't probably said it wrong. Doesn't matter. That's Facebook.com/groups/WeGotThisPodcast. Thank you to producer Ken Plume, who's not visible to people in the
there.
live stream, but is here. There he is. Researcher Kate McManus, graphic designer Uri Kelman, and QA engineer Jen Alba.
and thanks, of course, to our musicians, Jonathan Dinerstein and Mike Furman, for our score and that theme song that you heard at the beginning, respectively. And thanks to you, our listeners, for giving us a chance to sit down and talk with Janet about everything from Danishes to melting Salvador Dali cookie cakes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For Hal Lublin, I'm Mark Gagliardi.
For Mark Gagliardi, I'm Hal Lublin. And don't worry, everybody.
We got
We got
this.
this. All right. That was lovely what you said, by the way, about all the people who support the show, and that you can support Max Fun and all the great programs on the network at any time. And just an extra thank you to all the people tuning in and everybody who hears this from Mark and I. This is our 5th year of doing a Max Fun Drive, and we're blown away. Every year I'm like, well, all the people who are going to support us have done it, and I really appreciate it. It's so great, but more people show up who have been listening to the show. People discover us through other shows on the network. People decide to either re-up or increase their monthly contribution, and it blows me away that this entire network is supported by you. Every single show benefits from you being a member, but especially the shows that you check off when you go to MaximumFun.org/join. That is how we are able to afford Ken as a producer, is thanks to your contributions. That is our biggest financial like, forget equipment, forget everything else. The reason why the show sounds as great as it does, the reason why we get the guests that we do, the reason why we're motivated and organized the way we are, is because of Ken. And
Yeah.
Ken is because of it's because of you that we're able to pay him for his work, which he deserves.
I'm
You
like
know
a
how-
podcast Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
That's right.
when you watch the credits of a show, and it's usually like, here's the cast and then here's the crew. That section of it is one person. I mean, we thank all of our folks that have helped out, but really the bulk of it is Ken Plume. So now we can tell you in person. Thank you, Ken.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you can tell him in person as well by joining MaximumFun.org.
Yeah.
/join.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a thing since we're doing our little after bit here? And this is only for a few people. Maybe I've watched Hamilton too many times, but the dorkiest thought popped into my head, but it didn't meld fast enough for it to be funny to anyone else but me slightly after it happened. When you said, yeah, I go in and you want to squeeze the cookie a little and check for pliability. Because of the cadence of that, my brain went, have that cookie turn around so you can check for pliability. Straight out of the 10 Dual Commandments, which is so dumb, and it took my brain that long to.
You mean
no,
the 10
I feel like you're,
dough commandments?
The
Yeah.
10. Oh.
It's number 3, 50 degrees and no higher. Make sure.
By
you
the way,
got
50
cooling
degrees and
brackets
no
made out
higher.
of wire. Number 4.
It's happening right now.
Oh my god. I watched Hamilton so much, so many times, I probably have seen it, I don't know, 10 times now.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I just keep watching it. At night when I'm ready to go to sleep, I put it on, and then I wake up, it's happening. I even I listened to an ASMR video the other night to go to sleep. There was somebody whispering all of Hamilton. So I'm
Oh,
going to
that's
sleep.
amazing.
That's great.
That's a good idea. Oh yeah.
What JV, what do you turn on to fall asleep if you turn anything on to fall asleep to?
Yeah.
I definitely use a white noise like rain program that I'm very particular about. Like it's it's of course it's like a free app, but
Which one do you
within
use?
it's just called Rain Rain. Which is funny because like the next
Oh.
part of that is Rain Rain
look.
Go Away.
That
Like
one?
if you yeah, that one. I use City Rain, Ken. I'm a big City Rain fan, and I like adjust
I like a
the
thunderstorm.
softness of how
So you can
Like how
adjust,
ASMR?
you can play God with the weather on this.
You can
like-
choose
Yeah.
what kind of rain you. Is it rain on a metal roof? Is it rain on?
raining
Yeah.
on
So
a
good.
tent. Yeah.
They really should
City
spell-
Rain is the sound of like if you've lived like I bet all of you can enjoy City Rain because there's this distant sound of cars like very lightly kind of and you hear like the tires and the rain on the street.
And a
There's
jackhammer.
something
It's
about
not just
that
a bunch
reminds
of
me
people going, ah, God damn it.
There's no,
My
there's
umbrella!
no yelling. There's no screaming for
That City
yeah,
Rain is,
no.
these shoes are
Yeah.
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 Blow
God,
is
it
deeper than I
stinks out
thought.
here. This garbage is so smelly.
Oh man, when this
Yeah.
garbage gets soaked, it really smells terrible.
Yeah.
Hey, watch
You
what you're
said you didn't need
driving.
an umbrella,
Gently.
Jeff. Are you happy
Gently
now?
sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good. It
But if
captures the-
I want to listen to a voice or something, I listen to a ton of audiobooks. So I'll
Yeah.
put on an audiobook knowing that like I try to make a mental note of where I am when I started because I will have to go back to like 5 minutes after that point as
Right.
I will totally even if I think I'm listening, I'll realize that like, if I put it on at like 10:30 and I wake up at 11:30, but I'm like, I guess I'm finally ready to fall asleep. I'll probably turn this off now. And then the next day, I'm like, here I am, picking it up where I left off.
Yeah.
No idea what's going on, and I have to take it back. And it inevitably is like 5 minutes after I started it that I'm like, I do remember this, and then
See-
I have to listen to it all the way through again.
Look, as a person who is half completionist, half poser, the idea of turning on an audiobook when I go to bed and in the morning, 8 hours later, being like, welp, I finished that Joan Didion book. Now I'm back
saying
about my
Never.
day.
That
Yeah.
every book you
Never.
listen to winds up being a mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I wonder what happened to that. Yeah.
sometimes I listen to People's History of the United States,
Mm-hmm.
which I wanted to listen to anyway, and then I'll put it on at night just sort of to relax because it's
Because
so
that's
relaxing.
relaxing.
Yeah, but it's because it's read by the author's brother. It's a very like, it's calming. It sounds calming, but then you're like, the class system in America was set up to exploit the poor and minorities, and
Yeah.
to drive indigenous people off their land. And I'm like,
Yeah. Nothing makes you want to fall asleep faster than, let me tell you about the race riots in Chicago in 1913.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still like on
So
17,
Injustice
70.
just puts Hal right to sleep.
Yeah, really like, oh, we are terrible.
Can I tell you what's been working for me of late is the web series Tiny Kitchen. I watched it years ago and I've returned to Tiny Kitchen.
Is
Do you know
like
this?
little finger, like they're miniaturized?
They
food
use like they
things?
cook with like tweezers and like a votive candle, a votive candle. It was actually
And
made
tiny
with,
little portions and.
Oh, I would love that.
it's actual food, actually cooked.
So do you
And
like them
I'll
with the
send you
little
a
razor
link.
blade slicing the tiny
Oh,
vegetables?
yeah, you
They
gotta
actually
send me a link. I
they
would
got
love
sent
that, for
these little
sure.
Japanese knives by this Japanese knife company that made them these teeny little knives, and
This is satisfying.
it's the most satisfying. Yeah.
Yeah, because I like miniatures that aren't useful. So the fact
Yeah.
that like you can do stuff with this is even way more exciting.
What was the museum? Have you been to this at the Met in New York? The dioramas of, oh man, if you like miniatures, you will dig this.
Are you talking? Well, at the Chicago Institute of Art is the really famous series of rooms.
Oh, is it in Chicago? The ones that are all like this big, and it's like, here's what Rococo art looked like. Here's what
Yeah, I
the
mean,
living room
the
from the
ones in-
1830s.
Yeah, I went to
Is
the
that
one
Chicago?
when we did one of the thrilling things in Chicago. I went to that and just could not stop taking pictures of these tiny rooms and when you take pictures of them, they really look like
Yeah.
you went to that room.
I'm realizing in this moment
Great.
that I might be telling you about something that we either
I told
attended
you about.
together or yeah, what like
So what was that
might
half
have gone
poser thing you were
together.
we talking about?
we may have gone together to this,
I think
but
we
it was
might have gone
amazing.
together. Yeah, they're wonderful.
Now
Oh,
go to
Tiny
the
Kitchen,
Barbie
I can't
exhibit
wait.
in Montreal.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys
There
have
you
ever
go.
been in this show called the Thrilling Adventure Hour, but it's really, really fun.
I do, guys. I
Play
do
different
this all the
characters.
time, and the number of times in my life I've heard, "I know, dude, I was with you." Like, am I a terrible
That just
person,
means you're a social person
Yeah.
with a lot of friends.
or I'm just
None
a
of them
person?
mean that much to you.
That's, yeah, I'm like, we are in a museum. Janet, don't talk to me right now. I'm looking at tiny
I'm
rooms.
sure that's it. I'm
And none of
sure
them
that's
are
I
it.
much.
always take photos in situ with Mark to make sure he can be reminded later of where we were together.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's smart. That's just smart.
Look, I take notes and file things away specifically for my elderly times when I'm sitting around going, what was the name of that? I'm like, I wrote it. It's in a file cabinet somewhere.
Your
Good for you.
journals soon to be published. Ken, do we want to do more topics? Do we have comments from YouTube that we want to talk
The
about?
comments have just been generally positive, other than ones. Well, I
Generally
mean,
positive.
as with any discussion, there are people that are going to think that you're wrong on these things or
Oh, I
have
thought it was
other
like,
opinions.
They're bad people. That's like, I know. I always
Well, they
think-
were singling out Mark.
Okay, good. What's that?
What did I do? That usually happens.
No. Everything has been. Everyone is having fun.
Great.
I don't
Gags
have
is like, and
specific.
it's fine. I was just doing a show recently where we started talking about Danishes.
There's this really great show called the.
I do that all the time,
JV.
you guys. I hate
Janet,
it.
do you know about the JV Club?
All
You
right.
should be on that show.
Ken, I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
We do have some additional topics. Some of the weirder ones that
Oh.
we've saved for this little after thing.
Let's get weird.
So we can go to some of those and do a couple of those and see what comes out of that. Some that you might have strong opinions of. About.
Weird, eh?
Hey.
And so I'm going to start out with one of the weirdest, potentially, from EJ Salazar. And it's
Hi, EJ.
seafood and cheese, yay or nay.
Okay. Yeah.
So he was mentioning that generally in the post he was mentioning that there's a general sort of culinary rule not to mix
Right.
seafood and cheese. Where do you fall on that?
I mean,
Do you like your cheese on your fillet of fish?
Is that really?
I think-
Not on that. It depends on the delivery method of the seafood. I mean, if it's like
Yeah.
a tuna sandwich, I probably would say like, yeah, throw some cheese on there. I feel like I eat fish tacos, and I'm totally fine with like a little some shredded cheese. You know.
I think there's
But
also
would I eat like
cuisines that do
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? Like American barbecue cuisine at Arby's does not need the new Arby's fish and cheddar, which is a thing that they have.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
like a shrimp scampi with a little shaved Parmesan on top, you know what I mean? Like, or
Yeah.
I think shrimp may be a different thing too, because I think of like a salad with shrimp on it. You can put feta cheese on that. Like,
Yeah.
But is there also a divide when it comes to melted or unmelted? Because
I
that
don't know.
certainly changes the flavor profile of cheese to have, or the fact that it's hot cheese on something. Is that a
I
divide?
mean, but then we get back into like, I love a tuna melt.
I do love a tuna melt. I
And
also
that would
love
have cheese on it, I think.
at Gladstone's, when there used to be a Gladstone's at City Walk. My favorite dish on that menu, is my first table waiting job in LA, and my favorite dish on the menu was brie stuffed halibut, which
Whoa, that
which
sounds
was
very buttery.
a bajillion calories. Oh, and it
Yeah.
had a cream sauce on top. Like it was.
So apparently it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could either get that or 3 racks of ribs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I can get 3 racks of ribs. Where I got ribs the other. I just got so excited.
Oh, somebody perked up.
You talked about a food that I eat. I don't eat fish.
We're
I don't
talking
like
about
fish.
seafood, and Hal's like, oh, I'm out of this.
No,
one.
I'm like, well, I'm
Yeah.
like, I will listen and I will go along with.
Do you eat shrimp or no?
I do. I love shrimp. I don't like cold shrimp, but I like to grill or broil some shrimp.
Eating shrimp, but as the only seafood that you eat, is kind of the equivalent of being like, ugh, chicken, no, ooh, a cockroach. That feels like the land and sea equivalent.
What if I like scallops? Does that make me? Am I cool now, Mark?
I
Am
do like.
cool?
No, I
Can I
like.
hang out in your motorcycle club if I have scallops?
Oh man,
Your roach infested motorcycle club,
Yeah, with all those
apparently.
roaches that I will also eat off the floor, I guess,
oh my god.
because that's who I am.
But yeah, it sounds like cheese is okay. We're breaking the culinary rules.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
I'll have those ribs though. I will have those ribs. I love ribs.
Do you want
Can
those
I have
ribs right?
I
Comma
love
Lord
Mm.
asks, hammock or porch swing?
Porch swing. I mean,
because it's hard to get in and out of a hammock.
hammocks are so hard to get in and out of, and 2
Yeah.
people in a hammock is tough.
I think I want the hammock,
Yeah.
but I'm chasing after a dream that I don't think is real for me.
Are you
Gilligan's
chasing
Island?
after
I agree, I
that
would
picture
porch
of
swing.
Homer with a drink and an umbrella and a hammock, and you're like, that's what relaxation looks like?
Yeah. Like, yeah. Even like on ships and stuff in movies when you're little, you're like, oh, I would love for my bed to be a hammock. No, you wouldn't. But it feels like you do want that.
Yeah.
But I think, porch swing.
Yeah, I even like even the idea of it's be so romantic to share a hammock with someone, but then when you're both in there, if you're underneath, you're like, isn't this great?
You just,
Don't you?
yeah,
like
you're just
this?
sort of fold in a weird
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Can you take your elbow out of my spleen?
Yeah. You eventually look like the slugs having sex in that old 8th grade video from Science.
What?
Not just me. You
What
think that your
websites do
bodies
you go
just
to?
eventually just do this together and start.
Yeah. Yeah.
We watched gross stuff in Catholic school science class.
Like now you'll never want to have sex. Oh,
Yeah.
You want to know the
Yeah.
sins of the flesh? Here are these 2
Yeah.
slugs. That's what it's
Slugs.
like.
Yeah. Watch these 2 slugs
Slugs in a
sinning.
hammock.
Yeah.
Subtle.
Oh my god.
That was
So
how
yeah, I guess
Shakespeare-
porch swing.
But a porch swing is
porch swing,
delightful.
for sure. Yeah.
We really didn't even talk about the porch swing. We just talked about hammock sucking.
Sometimes that's all it takes to win. That's all it takes.
That's fine.
To win.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Steven Sosha asks, best tomato color.
Oh, like yellow, orange, red, green. There are green
Yeah.
tomatoes fried.
Yeah.
Red, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I have a pint full of very flaming orange tomatoes that look like they're just going to be really juicy and great. I'm going with the bright orange.
Wow.
Bright orange works for me. I'm down for anything that isn't green, honestly.
Really?
Because green is just underripe. Like they're tasty in that one dish. fried green tomatoes because they're supposed to be super firm, super tart. Like that's why you pick them and eat them like that. But as far as just like, I wouldn't just put green tomatoes on a thing.
Well, Tawanda to you.
But orange tomato to what?
Tawanda. You've never seen fried green tomatoes?
No.
Please.
I'm older and have more
Very,
insurance.
I'm
so
very
good.
cosmopolitan.
What a betrayal
I'm
to your
older. There
Southern
you go, yeah.
heritage.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Your
What else-
Southern
what else don't you
culinary
like?
heritage.
It's cool. I'm
Banjo?
still standing in front of conservative or in front of Confederate monuments so they don't tear them down.
Oh.
I'm doing
Right.
that. But
Okay,
I will
but
not
you're-
eat fried green tomatoes while I do it.
That's a bridge too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, porch swings are great.
Yeah.
Heather has
Very
another
pleasant.
question that she sent in.
Yes,
which
Heather.
which goes into this sort of Southern culinary decision making. Should mustard go in potato salad?
I'm a big mustard fan.
I was going to say
but
I
I'm,
love
like,
I would put mustard in
uncomfortably into mustard. Yeah. So I would. I do. Like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I will
And egg
frequently
salad too.
we'll use mustard instead of mayo because like I don't like a lot of
Same.
mayo and stuff.
Same.
If it calls for a
Low fat.
tablespoon of mayo, I'll put a teeny bit of mayo and mustard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, put it in there.
I have
Load
to
it up.
order my mustard special because
Really?
Gelson stopped carrying it and I love it so much.
What
I
What
have to
mustard?
order it.
like?
What mustard do you use?
It's called well, it's a cilantro jalapeno mustard and it is
I'm
from-
listening.
It's from a company called Robert Rothschild.
Ooh.
it
And
controls all the
again,
tastes.
it was like
Yeah,
it
it's the
was like
mustard that
I'm shopping, I'm shopping at the grocery
Yeah.
store nearby, and I was like, oh, I need some mustard. Oh, this looks good. And then it was so good, and then they immediately stopped carrying it, and I was like, well, I guess I will have to order 6 at a time now in a little box packed in
The mustard
styrofoam.
they serve at Davos.
Have you been to the mustard
It's
store
very
in
special.
Silver Lake?
There's a mustard store in Silver Lake?
There's a cheese shop, but it is a mostly mustard store. I walked in and I was like, "There's more mustard than cheese in here." They have a
Oh
whole
wow,
wall.
the
It's
one
amazing.
like it's like
right next to
the
Trader
Junction?
Joe's.
Oh, that one. Yeah, say cheese.
Yeah, say cheese.
It's
Yeah.
called Say Cheese. Yeah, I've been there, but I guess I haven't thought about their like having a. I might have to go back because
Their mustard section is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean,
I just
I have my favorite, but whatever.
I mean,
I just
how
got a
many
nice
do you
German
have in your
mustard.
fridge on a given day?
Oh yeah.
How many different kinds, or
Yeah.
how many? Right
No
now,
individual
probably
packets.
Just, yeah, I like to buy them by the packet.
Sure. Heinz yellow mustard.
Yeah,
You know, for the environment.
I feel like right now I'll say we have spicy brown and regular yellow, and then the cilantro jalapeno.
Where do you fall on like a honey mustard?
I like a honey mustard if it's got a little zing, and I don't, and I don't like Dijon mustard, which I feel is a betrayal of my Francophilianness.
Don't let your mom. Don't let your mom know that you don't like Dijon mustard. or
I
you
know,
will-
I
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But you know what? It tastes good if you're eating a French meal. Somehow that feels right. But then
Mm-hmm.
I would never choose it like
Yeah.
as a choice. If I'm given a choice, I'll never choose it. But if I'm just given like a salad that has a Dijon dressing
Mm-hmm.
and it's good and French, I'll be like, oh, this is wonderful.
Do you have a preference on texture?
How hypocritical.
Because obviously, some mustards go a bit drier and more granular. Do you have a preference on that?
Yeah, I like the one of the things I like about this mustard is that it's a little chunky. I like that it's
Chunky mustard, new Ben and
Yeah.
Jerry's flavor.
Chunky
Yeah.
mustard. Walking down the street.
Chunky mustard.
Janet Varney's chunky
I
mustard,
like
Ben and
to
Jerry's ice
meet-
cream.
Yeah.
I could be convinced that would be good.
We have time for one more.
Yeah. One more.
Let's do
One
one more.
more,
Is that
Ken?
okay,
Can we do
Janet?
one
Are we?
more?
Yeah, let's do one more. And then I gotta take the dogs before it gets dark. But
Yeah.
Let me find
Fine.
one that I think
I have to.
you'll
I have to go
have-
before too much of Wheel of Fortune has played.
And I have to go sit and stare at the wall.
make
That's
a
fair.
pie.
Ooh. Hey, Hal, are those?
Yep.
I just now noticed the two monkeys sitting on a shelf.
Those
behind
are
you.
gorillas.
Oh, I'm sorry, gorillas.
Do you want to know the story of these gorillas?
Yes, and then we'll get
One-
the final topic.
The one on the far right is one that my parents got that sat in my room in Philadelphia for 20 years, 18, 19 years. And then one time when Jennifer and I were back visiting, I was like, I'm going to take that back because that's something my mother got for me. And it's a way to remember her. So then
Sure.
it became, how many more of them are there? And so these are 2 of them. So every time I see one, I buy it.
So
They look
presumably
kinda-
they're not. There aren't a ton of them.
there are 5 of them in this house right now.
Really?
There
Yes.
are.
Yeah.
Do they
The other
all
ones
have
are
like?
off to my left?
Do they have
Another
different
area.
expressions?
Is that like
or
Is that like a Beatles haircut that it has?
Here, I'll hold on.
Are they mod
Yeah, it's
monkeys?
unclear where their eyes
Yeah,
are
let me-
and stuff.
It looks
They
like
have
they're
no
wearing
eyes.
those like dry your hair wrap
No.
towels that have the
Yeah.
little pinch part.
Yeah.
Here's the original.
Like Norma
The
Desmond.
difference
Like
is in
Norma
the
Desmond.
eyes. So here,
Oh, okay.
Oh gosh, there's a
Oh.
lot more going on than you can
Yeah.
see from far away.
yeah, you
They're a
can't
little
really
more
see it.
terrifying
I
up
like
close.
that face.
He's very
Terrifying. Look,
cute.
it's a silverback
I like it.
gorilla.
Oh, silverback, great.
Yeah.
And then this one, which was the second one that I got. he's
Copy of a
got-
copy.
Copy of a copy.
so
His
you can
eyes
see-
are so soulful.
you can
It's the
sort of see
mouth
him, but yeah.
that I'm really. It's like his mouth's been
Yeah.
sewn shut. That's the thing that's freaking me out a bit.
I mean, he looks kind of like Dave in the gorilla suit in Mighty Boosh.
True.
It's got like
True.
his weird human
Yeah.
eyes. All right,
Yeah.
final topic.
Okay.
Yeah. Final topic
Mm-hmm.
is from Kate Tripoli.
Hello, Kate Tripoli.
And-
Thank you.
It is, how many pillows should one person sleep with?
I don't know how many. It sounds like a joke a little bit. Little bit.
I mean, it depends if you're monogamous with one pillow.
Yeah.
Why do you?
Nice.
Will any
I
pillow
sleep-
do for you?
I use 3 pillows.
Under your head?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm just
I
thinking
have
like-
one pillow that is, I have one pillow that, because I have a really bad neck. So I have one pillow that is squishy enough that I could sort of mush it into the shape it needs to be for whatever's wrong with my neck that night.
Right.
But then there has to be a pillow behind that, between the pillow and the bed frame, so that the pillow maintains its shape, because otherwise it would just flatten out again.
Yeah.
Right.
Then I sleep with a pillow like between my knees so that my back is okay.
I do the same thing. I do a pillow. I have the knee pillows, the ones that look like little little eyes, the letter I, and then I have a pillow. I have a really squishy pillow that I call my mushy that I have to sleep on. That's what goes under my head.
You're mushy.
And then when I got into
Yeah, you
the
are.
car accident a couple of years ago, and my shoulder and neck were bad, they were like, "Get this ergonomic pillow," which is the one that has like the dip in the middle, and I put that up against the headboard and let the mushy pillow, because again, it could be any shape. It could be a fuller pillow
Yeah.
or a flatter pillow. So
Yeah,
it
that's
is,
right.
I have also a 3-pillow sleeper.
Yeah.
I just
And Mark,
roll up
is-
my leather jacket and then tip my hat over my face.
I was just about to say it was probably a rolled up jacket that you came in it with.
If I'm out in the desert, I find a coiled up rattler and I just plonk my head down on its
That's right. I once
curled
filled
up
a
skin.
dead iguana with dirt. Does that count?
I'm a 3 rock guy.
No, I have on mine. I have the 2 pillows that match the comforter, so I don't sleep under those. I toss those off, and then I have a queen size bed, and I have just the 2 pillows. I like a lot of domestic stuff. I kind of take my cues from hotel rooms I've stayed in.
Yeah, you
You know what I mean? I'm like, well, that's
you
where
have
the
like a formal way you make your bed.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
every
formal
night
about
you
it,
put
yeah.
you put all your personal belongings in your safe, and then you lay down on your bed.
yeah.
He gets the clothes for tomorrow out of his luggage that's on the luggage rack off to the side of the bed.
Yeah, and the hangers don't
Yeah.
have hooks; they're just little pegs that go in the rings. That
Yeah,
slide,
that's
so
what
you
my
can't steal
apartment's
them.
like. Exactly.
Great. Great.
I
great.
always bring a Ziploc sandwich baggie with me everywhere I go. So every time I sit down to use the TV, I put the remote in it.
Do you give yourself a turn down service?
Yeah. I mean, look, if I could give myself a turn down service, I'd never leave the house. Hey-oh!
Oh.
Hey.
So
But are you-
dumb.
Are you? How many pillows do you have? Like when you go to sleep?
When I go
you
to
take a bunch
sleep,
off the bed.
I
How many
have enough to cover the top layer of the bed. So if it's a hotel and it's a king size bed, I will have 3 across. If it's mine, which is a queen size bed, I'll have 2 across. Just so that, like, if I'm sleeping this way and then I roll this way, there's still pillow coverage. But
Okay.
I'm not like a knee pillow person.
I have been my whole life. It's not even like an old lady thing. I just always
It's comfortable.
have
Like
liked the feeling of, like
Yeah.
I'll do knee pillow on a couch nap.
I'll bunch up the blanket also and make a little knee pillow if I don't have the knee
Hey,
pillow.
if worse comes to worse, yes.
Yeah.
So
Make
what's
it
the
two.
what's the correct number of pillows?
3.
Is it
Two of us use 3 pillows?
Are we averaging? Well, let's go. So
Well, how
Mark,
about you,
you're
Ken? How
at
many
what?
pillows?
2. You're at
I'm
2.
at 2, but I'm not against 3.
Yeah, we're each 3.
I'm
What
at
about
2,
you?
and you 2 are at 3. So
10 divided by 4. 2.5 pillows is the answer. Asked and answered.
2.5 pillows.
Like
Or-
having your
or one of
2.7
those-
kids.
Pillows, pillows.
or one long
2.5
pillow
pillows on CBS.
and a regular pillow. We'll get you to 2.5 pillows, right?
Yeah,
Sure. So there you go. 2.5 pillows.
from
Asked and answered.
Glory.
Thank you, everybody who's supporting us during Max Fun Drive. We're
Yeah.
only in week 2. There are 2 more weeks, 2.5 more weeks.
Yeah.
To go.
Right
You
behind
go to-
him, Hal.
Yeah. Go to MaximumFun.org/join. And remember, when you are either setting up your new membership or upgrading your existing membership, and it asks you which shows you listen to, that is when you click those shows to make sure they benefit directly from your recurring contributions. So we got this with Mark and Hal, and the JV Club, and also Tights and Fights would be 3 good places to start. But check as many shows as you listen to, right? Little itty bitty gritty. That's right. That's right. Thank you for joining us, everybody. And we hope to see you soon. Thank you very much for tuning in.
And thank you, Janet.
Thanks,
This
everybody. Oh, thanks for having me.
this was
so
really
fun.
And thank you to the Itty Bitty Gritty Committee.
Thanks,
over
everybody,
there.
Committee Committee. And thank you, Ken Plume.
Thank you, Ken. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Oh, tongue.
And it
Just
still says
Waiting
live and
until
recording.
I'm waiting until I
Just
wave
tongue.
so I can end it. Just watching it.
Oh, it's the Janet move again. It's such a good move.
Oh, I know she froze.
Ah, damn it. I hate that move so much. It's so good.
I haven't done it in
too
a while.
good at
I
it.
kind of
It's-
retired it for a minute.
It's so good. All right. I love you guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
And Janet, if you have
Thank
just a
you.
moment, I
Love
wanted
you.
to talk to you real quick about Virtual Dragon Con to see
No.
what your
We're
interest
still live on
was.
YouTube. It
See,
still
Mark?
says we're live on YouTube.
Bye, guys.